the recording,
Right
Kelsey.
now. Okay, now it's recording. And we'll try to upload those online and send that out. Oh, I think I have playback. Okay. And then we'll also be sending out a survey for feedback, similar to the survey that we sent out before, inquiring everyone's interest on the meetings. If you guys want to give us any constructive criticism or positive feedback or things that you want to see in the Zoom or in the virtual spin meetings, please let us know. We're just starting this out, so it might be a little bit messy in the beginning. And so we plan later on to use the Zoom features, like breakout rooms and polls in future meetings, for like a collaborative, interactive experience. So look forward to that, or what you want to see, basically. So the presenter schedule goes as follows. In October, we're going to have the San Jose State University Record Clearance Project and Mentoring Program. And we're also going to have the Needle Exchange Program present, as well as the Stand Up for Kids Outreach Center services for homeless youth. And then on November 1st, we're going to have the new Opportunity Work Program and Goodwill of Silicon Valley. And then in December, we're going to have the Center for Employment Opportunities. So it looks like in November, we need a couple more presenters. If your organization's interested, let us know. And then in December, we're also going to need a couple more presenters. So we're going to try to have 2 to 3 each spin meeting, and the presentations are going to go for like 15 minutes. So let us know if you want to contribute to that. I'm going to throw it over to Alexis for the icebreaker.
Yeah, real first though, before I get into the icebreaker, it was brought to my attention yesterday that our November meeting is scheduled on Veterans Day on November 11th, which is a Wednesday, and I didn't realize it was Veterans Day. So we're going to need to change that, to reschedule that. We don't want to cancel that meeting. So we're going to be reaching out to everyone probably with the survey after the meeting to like see how we did. We're also probably going to throw in a question asking which date you'd rather reschedule that meeting for. It'll probably either be on a Wednesday the week before or the week after, or on the Tuesday right before. So we'll put that out there, and if you could just let us know, we'll reschedule it for however many people we get responses. And again, these meetings are recorded, so if you won't be able to attend it, that's totally fine. You can watch the recording later. All right, so for the introductions and icebreaker, if we could all go around the virtual room and say our name, our organization, our position, and the city that we work in or cities that we work in. Also, let's either answer what is your favorite Bay Area restaurant, or what has been the positive silver lining to the COVID pandemic for you. And I know that's a lot, so let me put that in the chat box real quick so that everyone remembers all the questions.
I think we'll just like popcorn it. If you guys aren't comfortable sharing, don't worry about it. I'll go first. Hi, I'm Kelsey. I am a case manager at Downtown Streets team. And I think my favorite Bay Area restaurant, I don't have anything specific, but any like hole in the wall dim sum place I love. I'm gonna popcorn it to Eileen Hunter. Eileen, I think you're still muted. I can unmute you. There you go. Go ahead.
Hi. So I am working at Home First at the Tiny Homes as a resident advocate. And that's in San Jose, right across from the flea market. And my daughter came home with this little guy. So I thought I would share the cuteness with you anyway. But when you said silver lining, I guess this is him. He's the runt of the litter, and he's all energy, driving me nuts.
Thank you. You want to popcorn it to someone else?
Oh, Shireen.
Hi, I'm Shireen. Um, can you see me? Oh, I guess my camera is not working.
That's okay.
Anyways, so I'm from Housing Choices, and the silver lining during the pandemic is not driving, not taking my kids, the drop off, the pickup. I feel there's so much more time to get everything done, and I have been able to concentrate so much more. Um, that's about it, I guess. And a lot of my families got housed, so that was something good. Yeah.
Awesome. It looks like Ellen G wants to go next. Ellen, you can unmute yourself.
Yes. Oh, hi. Sorry, I did raise my hand. I am Ellen Gagne. I work at PATH, People Assisting the Homeless. We serve right now Santa Clara County. I work in our CCP sort of ongoing intensive case management program. Specifically, I work with scatter site clients who are formerly homeless, so we're trying to maintain housing. And yeah, so I'm a clinical case manager here, and I'm new to the area. I moved from New York City in April, and so the silver lining for me has been that it has been really easy to stay connected with people back on the East Coast because of all the Zoom meetings and all of that. And everyone's used to it now. So I'm super grateful that I've been able to stay connected. Thanks.
Awesome. I'll go ahead and pick one. Patricia McClure, do you want to go ahead and share?
Hi, I'm Patricia McClure, aka Patty McClure, and I work for behavioral health, and I'm a community worker. And my silver lining is my sushi spot that's almost within walking distance. And I'm going to tell you that my honey and I, we hit it at least once a week because it's been crazy. Like, I don't know. That's one area that's been like, went down in the tubes for me as far as the cooking. But the shining star in all of this is like the whole creativity level went up on the other side. So like that part has been really fun, and having time, like Shireen was saying, having time just to be able to dabble, in painting again and that kind of stuff, like super musa, because, there's a lot of other stuff in the world really, really happening that's live, extended family wise. So it's been a good, swing of the pendulum kind of thing. And I'm glad. Thank you both ladies for stepping up. I'm like super grateful that you guys stepped up, take the reins, and like we're doing this again and having this, support network kind of thing to help us all out, because there's so much. And I'm super grateful because like all my people got housed also. So kudos to all the housing people out there.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, no, we really miss Spin as well. Samantha Rose, you want to go next?
Sure. Hi, my name is Samantha Rose, and it is early, and trust me, you guys don't want to see me quite yet. But I am from Downtown Streets team. I'm a lead employment specialist, and I'm located in San Jose. And I would say my favorite restaurant in the Bay Area would probably be Epic Steakhouse in San Francisco or Black Sheep in Willow Glen.
Thank you. I want to try those. That sounds really good.
Amazing steak for both of them. Fantastic. If I can pick someone else, I'll do a little popcorn. Laura Diaz.
Thank you. My name is Laura Diaz. I work at Nextdoor Solutions to Domestic Violence here in San Jose. I'm the Outreach and Volunteer Coordinator, and I'm excited to be here to meet all of you today. Favorite restaurant, I tend to want to go to the little local restaurants. There's iJava Cafe. There's a couple of them in the Bay. And there's one on 10th and William Street. It's called the Deli, I think the Corner Deli Cafe. Really good orange juice, really yummy food. And then anything in Japantown is it's really good. So Thank you. And I don't know anybody. Oh, I know Eileen, but she already went. Areli?
Might want to pick someone else.
Or Bella?
Hi, I'm Bella. I work for Downtown Street Team as well, and I'm an employment specialist in Palo Alto. And my favorite restaurant, I actually also work part-time at Luna, which is in Campbell, if you haven't tried. And it's amazing. It has been like my workplace and my go place, even when I'm off, and it's really good. And then I'll just popcorn to Rebecca. Or
I can go
Hello,
next.
my name is Rebecca Sequeros. I am a medical social worker. I work for Whole Person Care in Santa Clara County. Basically, our program, we showcase that the best way to care for people is just to deal with their medical or behavioral or social challenges. So we set we have population that's very, very vulnerable here and that we serve, and we pretty much set our patients up with care coordinators. We help them navigate through the health system, and we provide them with behavioral health services or transportation or housing support. We do a whole lot of great things for people out here in need. So I really love doing this job, and I'm so excited that we got the spin group up again. Let's see, my favorite restaurant would be Sushi Confidential in Willow Glen. Thank you.
Thanks, Rebecca. Areli?
Hi, good morning. Sorry, Laura, I wasn't able to unmute on time. My name is Areli Valeriano. I'm from Sacred Heart Community Services. I am the employment coordinator there. We're currently doing our services remotely. So if you guys have any clients you would like to refer that might be looking for jobs, go ahead and send them our way. And as a favorite restaurant, I don't know if I have a favorite one. I like a little bit of everything. But I'm from Oaxaca, and the best restaurant there is right now, the closest to the traditional food is Siete Regiones. So normally that's where I go when I want, something back from home.
Thank you. Christina, you want to go next?
Yes, I thought raising my hand would be a little bit easier for people. I feel like it's hard for us to choose. But my name is Christina Grijalva, and I work at Goodwill of Silicon Valley. I used to be a part of the veterans team, but now I just transferred over to the reentry center. So I'm working the reentry portion there at Goodwill. So I'm the business developer, so I help them get placed into jobs after 90 days of our program. The silver lining of COVID-19, there's been a lot. I felt like I started working out and then I stopped and I started working out. I got to spend a lot of time with my dog, which is amazing, and she loves it. And I felt like, I think somebody said it before, like I never really had time to do all these things, and I somehow have managed the time to work from home, do the house chores, do stuff for myself. I developed my own hobby now. So it was really bittersweet moment for me, but overall I want to just focus on the great things that came out of it. So yeah, it's been a lot of fun. And then it looks like Tina has her hand raised, so I'll go for her.
Thank you for that. Hi, yeah, my name is Tina, and I work with the FLY program, also known as Fresh Lifelines for Youth. I work as a reentry case manager. So I work with the young people coming out of juvenile hall and the ranch that are just coming back into the community. Sorry for the noise in the background. I don't have a kid, but I have a kitten, and he's making a lot of noise in the background. That, and then I guess for my silver lining thing, we just got a house, so I spent this whole time in COVID. We barely got it. Actually today is 1 year, so we've been really putting together the house, which has been good, and a lot of stress as well. But luckily we had the time to do all that. And then we added 2 additional fur babies to our family along with that. So that's been a silver lining with it as well. Sorry, my cat's distracting me, so I wanted to at least say where I worked and get that out. So thank you.
Oh, thank you, Tina. Yeah, if you guys want to rate, there's a way to raise your hand. You click on the top 3 dots of your video to raise your hand. So whoever wants to go next.
It also looks like Magdalena had put in the chat box that she would like to go. So go ahead, Magdalena.
And Sherry.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Magdalena Alvarez. I am the bilingual client services coordinator at our North office with YWCA Silicon Valley. I guess I don't really have a favorite Bay Area restaurant because I relocated to San Jose from Baton Rouge, Louisiana in mid-June. I haven't been here for a long time. I'm originally from Fresno County, so it's not too far. I guess silver lining was I was away from family and my spouse for about 7 months living in Louisiana. So the silver lining was coming back to California and being reunited with my family and my fur baby. So I've been really appreciative of working from home and just being able to spend time with him. So that's my silver lining. I'm not sure who wanted to go after.
I think Sherry Burns, please.
Okay.
Hi, good morning, everyone. I'm Sherry Burns, the Executive Director over at Silicon Valley Independent Living Center, and we provide comprehensive independent living skills, services, resources, and advocacy for people with all types of disabilities of all ages and backgrounds who live or work in Santa Clara County. Our housing programs are pretty extensive, and as far as our emergency housing, we do temporary housing for homeless people with disabilities through a contract with OSH, and also we are the Home Safe partner with APS. Let's see, favorite restaurant I would have to say is a neighborhood restaurant in Willow Glen, Tlaquepaque. And as far as one of the positive things about COVID and sheltering, I would say it's definitely being home more, being home for dinner more often, and being able to, be with our pets too and spend more time with them. And then just getting to know, I think, the neighbors better. We've had a couple opportunities for like pop-up street gatherings, social distance gatherings, once or twice since we've been sheltering, and also just helping each other out. I have a lot of older neighbors that I've been able to get to know with doing grocery shopping and things like that for them. So it's just, yeah, a little bit more community because of it. Thank you. Glad to join you. I guess I'll pass it off to my colleague if Angelica Holgain, our Director of Programs, would like to introduce herself.
Hi, I'm Angie. I am the Director of Programs over at SVILC. I work in San Jose and will be partly in Gilroy as well. Yes, I'll piggyback on what Sherry said. We do a lot of great things and we're working on a lot of housing right now in our community. The silver lining for me for this COVID pandemic is that I am a newbie here at SVILC. I am just shy of a month. And so I am so grateful to have this new position and be able to really challenge myself, and it's been great, and I'm working with a great team. So getting a new job is my silver lining. And as far as a restaurant, I don't live in the Bay Area, so I'm like writing down some of these names. So I'm excited to hear what you guys have to say. Thank you. So whoever wants to go next.
Thank you. I think Lorena Diaz would like to go next.
Hey, good morning, everybody. I'm Lorena Diaz. I work for the City of San Jose's Homelessness Response Team with the Housing Department. We oversee various programs. Some people are currently working in our programs as I'm listening to you guys do your guys' introductions. Let's see, some of the favorite places I like to eat in San Jose. It depends what I'm in the mood for and what part of town I'm in. If I'm on the east side, I'm feeling like Chinese, I go to Hole in the Wall Jade Garden off McKee and Toyon. If I'm downtown and I'm feeling like sushi, I go to Monato's in Japantown. If I'm feeling like Mexican food, I'm very partial. I hear a lot of people, we're very picky. I'm very picky about Mexican food. So I'm still looking for that good Mexican food in San Jose. I've yet to find it. But if you ever find yourself all the way down to Orange County, Javier's is probably the best authentic Mexican food in California that I've tasted. The silver lining in COVID, just like everybody else, doing a bunch of random hobbies, and probably buying a bunch of random stuff on Amazon that I don't need to buy.
I love it. That's relatable. I think we're going to go Melissa next.
Hi everyone, my name is Melissa and I work for Abode Services. I'm a housing services coordinator and we have clients in the Santa Clara and San Jose cities. And my favorite restaurant would have to be in Milpitas. There's a restaurant called Red Chili's and they have the best chicken tikka masala in my opinion. I love it. Thank you.
Thank you. We're going to go Kat next.
Hello. I apologize if a baby screams or if a dog barks during this. I'm trying to go fast. So I am the outreach specialist at the Center for Employment Opportunities. We offer a temporary transitional job for people who are on probation or parole in Santa Clara County. And I live in San Jose, or I think we're located in San Jose. I live in Santa Clara, but they're, within 20 minutes of each other. And I think the silver lining would be, I had a baby, my first baby, like a week before everything kind of shut down. So I definitely got a very intimate maternity leave experience, which is not what I was planning for. My child, I'm pretty sure, is going to be shocked when I have to take her to Target. She's like, what? Happening. So that's been really nice. I also started a garden and that was really fun. And we actually had cucumbers and tomatoes and stuff from the garden. That was really special. So, happy to be here. Thank you guys for doing this.
Awesome. Thanks, Kat. Let's go Omar next.
Hi, everyone. My name is Omar, and I'm with the Service Navigation Mentoring Program. I'm an administrative assistant with the program. And I think the silver lining with the pandemic is that while it has presented new and old and has highlighted old challenges, I think I have more of a solidified and, better understanding on how we can kind of move forward from all this and be stronger on the other side. And my favorite Mexican restaurant is Agave in downtown. It's close to San Jose State's library, so y'all should check that out. Thank you.
Thanks, Omar. We're going to go ahead and call on Babita next.
Hi, everyone. Good morning. My name is Babita. I work for Health Trust as a program manager for family support services. We provide rental assistance and homeless assessment, like VSPADAT, to the family who has 0 to 5-year children. Silver lining during pandemic is we drove from first time we took a road trip from San Jose to Houston to meet with my sister. And that was really exciting. It took me 2 days to reach there. And after 2 weeks, we came back here. So it was really exciting. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you. I'm so sorry if I butcher this name. Helena. Helena.
Hi, Kelsey. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. So hi, everybody. I'm Helena. I work with CalWorks Employment Services, and I've worked with Rapid Rehousing and Bringing Families Home programs to help the clients get employment while they are getting rehoused. So it's exciting to be part of this collaboration of resources. It's been very helpful. And so as far as COVID, yes, I got to finally get my backyard finished. We put in some lawn and put some garden and plants in. And then I'd gotten 2 fur babies before COVID, and now these dogs think that they are rulers of the kingdom, and they bring balls to me while I'm working from my computer at home and want me to throw a ball in the house. And because I was walking them quite a bit at the beginning of COVID, and now workload has increased and I'm not giving them on the walks. So they want a little more attention.
Yeah, my baby boy.
So as far as favorite restaurant, I live in Morgan Hill. I love Mauricio's Italian restaurant. It is the bomb. And Mauricio actually is a chef there, and he comes out and greets his clients, and it's a true small town experience. So if you guys head that direction and want a wonderful Italian dining experience, go to Mauricio's.
Awesome. Thank you. I like your background.
Isn't it eerie, huh?
We're going to call on city team after you. City team? Okay. We'll skip over that. Victoria?
Hi, my name is Victoria Kirshner, and I work with San Jose State University Record Clearance Project. I work with the service navigation. I believe we will be presenting pretty soon. I am the lead mentor, and we connect people that are in custody and recently released, and we connect people that are in custody 45 days or sooner to the release, and people that have recently been released with management. So we help them with housing, normally in the form of an SLE or a THU. We help them with employment. We help them with all the obstacles that they're facing and challenging right now with COVID, because a lot of them, have been in custody and they have no idea what to expect if they've been in custody during this whole thing. And it's really a hard transition because the world is not what it was that they remember. So we support them emotionally, physically, and to the best of our ability with any needs that they possibly could need, and let them know that they are not alone. The silver lining of the pandemic, I would have to say, is spending more time with my precious dog. I always have separation anxiety when I have to leave her at home. So now we spend lots of time together. I would say my favorite restaurant, I love food, so I have so many. But I would say right now my go-to during the pandemic, because the quality of the food is still just as good as it was when it was open, would be Hi-Fi Pizza on Branham and Snell. They have barbecue night there on Wednesdays and Saturday. The lunch sandwiches and the pizza, everything is absolutely amazing. They even have a cauliflower crust pizza. So I would have to say during the pandemic, that's my go-to. Plus my stepdaughter works there, so I get to see her shiny face whenever I need.
Thank you. We'll throw it over to Roxanne.
Hi, good morning. My name is Roxanne, and I work with the Needle Exchange Program through the Public Health Department. And I definitely have to say the silver lining for COVID is I live in Oakland, and so there's no traffic right now. So it's kind of almost cut my commute time in by 45 minutes. So that's definitely been my silver lining.
Wow. Thank you. Did anybody else want to go? City team, did you guys want to go?
I'll go. My name's Eliza. I'm a resident services coordinator at Abode Services, and I really want to go because somebody said something about Black Sheep earlier. I'm so sorry, I forgot who said that, but that place is so good, and that's probably one of my favorite places. So I just really want to drive that home. Highly recommend it. Everyone should go. And also, I like Opa. There are a few locations, but that place is great too. That's all.
Awesome. Thank you. So if no one else wants to go, I think we're going to get started into the presentation.
Oh, I'll go, Kelsey. Sorry, I was waiting to see if anyone else wanted to go, but if not, I will close us out. If you did want to share, but maybe didn't want to talk or something, feel free to write all this information in the chat box so we still can know what organization you're with and whatnot. So feel free, if you'd rather to type that, please do. So my name is Alexis Cruz Holloway. I am the case manager with DST, with Downtown Streets team in Palo Alto. And my silver lining is definitely that that I was finally able to get a dog. My partner and I have wanted a dog for forever, but between college and then going right into the work field, working, typical 9 to 5 or longer in-person jobs, it just wasn't an option. And so now that ever since COVID hit, we, in April, adopted a puppy from San Jose, a shelter in San Jose, and it's been so amazing to be able to spend time with her and have the time to train her and everything. But not sure what's going to happen when we do both need to go back into the office. I'm sure with all pets, that's going to be difficult once people transition back to that, but still might be a while. So that'll come. City team, did you guys get your mic working?
How's that? Can you hear me now?
Yes, go ahead.
Oh, wow. Okay. So this is James from City Team, and I'm with Daniel. Daniel is our new shelter coordinator. Right before COVID, I took a new position in City Team as an operations manager for our San Jose programs here at the men's programs. I guess silver lining since COVID is a couple things. Looking from operational point of view here at City Team, it's given us more time to slow down and focus on individual clients and working on more essential case management things with individuals. We've also been able to become innovative and allow both our shelter/working man's program to start to incorporate and merge with other programs. So we've seen a sense of community actually build during this weird time of quote unquote social distancing. For a time at home and personal, it's given me time to be able to slow down and spend more quality time with my wife and son, and being able to get out in a way and drive places where we weren't able, or we never really slowed down to drive before because we're so used to either going to this store or that store. So that's some of the cool things there, silver linings. And then favorite place to eat, I'm a barbecue fanatic, so I love barbecue. And my favorite place right now is probably Mesquite and Oak over here off North 13th Street. And then there's another one called Smoked Out Barbecue over in Santa Clara. Both of them are tiny little holes in the wall. If you blink, you'll miss them. But I'll tell you what, next to Texas, they have the best barbecue ever. And then I'm gonna hand it over to Daniel now.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Daniel Armstrong. So I'm a shelter coordinator here at City Team now. James kind of explained the silver lining with our programs. I think the silver lining for me is spending more time with my family. I have two small ones, so one's 5 and one's 3, so that's a handful and always a lot of fun. My favorite restaurant would have to be Bobo Cavarri's in San Francisco. It's one of the best steaks that you can find. So thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. So I think we're going to get started on the presentations right now. The first presenter that we have is Nextdoor Solutions. I've enabled screen sharing, so if whoever's presenting for Nextdoor, if you want to start sharing your screen and get it started.
Yeah, thank you so much. So it's going to be me, Laura. Let me see if I can share this. I always get super nervous that it won't work.
No worries. It works.
Oh my God, thank God. Let me get it from the beginning. Okay, so let me set my timer because I tend to, you know, I can talk forever about my agency and just about domestic violence in general. So I'm going to set an alarm for myself. but just give me a time check if I go over. So I'll do 15 minutes.
We will.
Um,
And also before you start, Laura,
Yeah.
if anybody has any questions, let's not interrupt. Just put it in the chat, and then at the end, we can read them off to Laura.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much, everyone. So my name is Laura Diaz. My pronouns are she, her, ella. I'm the Outreach and Volunteer Coordinator at Nextdoor Solutions. And I've been there about a year and a half. I was there 10 months and then we went into shelter in place. So I've been there more time out here, but this is my second time at Nextdoor. I used to work there in 1996 and I worked there for about 7 or 8 years and then came back about a little bit over a year and a half ago. This is our address and our website and our hotline, and then I'll go into depth about our services. So I'll have this information on another slide. So the sharings for today will just be a little bit of the mission and vision of our agency, our Nextdoor services, and how the impact of COVID has affected both our agency and our clients. So Nextdoor Solutions was founded in 1971 by a woman that was experiencing domestic violence here in the county. And in the late 60s, early 70s, there weren't shelters specifically for domestic violence survivors. And so I was like, when I did a presentation for some teens a couple weeks ago, and I asked them, like, what are we known for, right? We're Silicon Valley, we're known for innovation, we're known for tech, and all of those started out of a garage. But San Jose specifically also has a very strong legacy of activism, of social justice. And so this woman, B, brought together a group of women, her comadres, her soul sisters, and said, we need to do something. And so out of a garage, our first crisis line was started. And also we were the first bilingual domestic violence shelter in the US. And so we are innovative in ways that have changed our lives as far as technology, but also this rich legacy of women and men, but in this instance, and in the agency I was in before, it's Sacred Heart Community Service, this legacy of women bringing together community in times of need and just building something from the ground up. And so we still have the same crisis line. We will be celebrating our 50th year next year. So what is our mission? Our mission is very tiny when you look at it. It's like one sentence, right? Our mission is to end domestic violence in the moment and for all time, which is very lofty, right? We are a small group of people working together to end domestic violence, something that's so ingrained in our community and in many of our families. But when I look at the mission, we like to kind of divide it into two sections. Our mission is to end domestic violence in the moment. And for me, that speaks to the emergency services that we provide, right? So shelter, restraining orders, it could be counseling, it could just be talking to somebody about what's going on. It's things that we need to address right now, because if we don't, somebody may be in danger of getting hurt or dying. And then the second part of it, for all time, really speaks to the commitment that we have in the community to changing systems that make it okay still for this to continue, right? So in the times that we are now, we're really looking at how the impacts of racism and other isms are impacting domestic violence, because it's not just one thing, right? And so we really are wanting to work in a community environment that breaks the silence and makes domestic violence and other forms of gender-based violence unacceptable through a very comprehensive and intersectional lens, right? So when we look at this, it's like, wow, we have a lot of work to do. And that's why being part of these groups is so important, because we can't do it alone, as we know. So these are our services. Our programs and services, of course, our hotline, our emergency shelter, housing support, walk-in crisis service, support groups. We have legal advocacy, case management, community engagement, and policy. And there's a slide for each of these. So as I mentioned, our crisis hotline is the same phone number we've had for about 50 years. It's answered out of our emergency shelter, and we also answer adult protective services, the crisis line, after hours. Our emergency shelter is in a confidential location. We are one of 5 domestic violence agencies We have 19 beds. The initial stay is about 45 days. It's staffed 24/7. And, you know, 19 beds, if we put all the agencies together, I believe the last number I heard was about 62 beds in the whole county. And so again, not enough, right? And so this for me would be in the moment, something we need to do, but long-term, what is it that we have to look at? We need to look at housing insecurity and housing inequity. We also offer hoteling for some of our folks that we can't house in our shelter or our sister agencies. So for long-term housing, we do have Home Safe Santa Clara and Home Safe San Jose. I'm sure this group is very familiar with that. We have 24 units at each site, and it is a Housing First program. As far as our support groups, Kids Club and teen groups, they have been impacted by COVID. They are all right now led on Zoom. And so there's good and bad things to that. The positives is that we've been able to reach more folks because they're doing it virtually. They don't have to drive to the agency. So if transportation is an issue or childcare is an issue, they are able to do these groups at home. But before COVID, we offered 16 groups, some at our main office and then some as far as Mountain View, that area, and then South County as well. So we offer a domestic violence support group. It's a 14-week session. We also offer a men's group for male survivors of domestic violence. Our self-sufficiency groups are also on Zoom right now. Our teen groups just recently also started up on Zoom. And recently, about 3 weeks ago, we started LGBTQIAP group, very small, so we are accepting folks to all of these groups right now. And then our quilting group right now is on hold, but this is a group where folks come and maybe traditionally they're not ready to be in a support group to talk about what's happened, but they are coming together to quilt and make something with art. And then our Kids Club, this is for our children that when their parent is or guardian is coming to their support group or at the shelter, we also offer Kids Club. And these are some of the things that we review with them. So walk-in crisis services, the first 3 weeks of shelter in place, you know, all of us were like, okay, 3 weeks, we can get through this. And then it became, you know, all these months. And so traditionally our walk-in hours are 9 to 7:30 and then Fridays 9 to 4:30. Currently, they are Monday through Friday from 9 to 5. So there are advocates on site. All of us are working from home, but our crisis services advocates are on site in order to see clients there. So we'll do risk assessment and safety planning at their appointment, or if they just walk in, and then basic needs would be any hygiene products, food, gift cards, diapers, those sorts of things. Legal services have continued as well. So we are still assisting clients with restraining orders, court preparation, and court accompaniment. And we also have a virtual legal clinic where some of the attorneys that work contract with us are able to offer their services virtually. And then our case managers, of course, all the case managers that are on here will relate to this, all of the things that go into case management, right? We will look at their finance, employment, education, basic domestic violence, education, housing, food access, healthcare, and wellness. So just a snapshot of our last year. In the last year, we received about a little bit over 14,000 crisis calls to the hotline. And it's not to say that every single person was calling for shelter, but it really puts into perspective the number of calls that are coming into our shelter for crisis calls, and then the number of beds available in the county, right? We provided emergency shelter to 134 adults and 175 children. Our advocates met with about 1,500 survivors through crisis counseling. So this is our walk-in service again. And about 937 clients received legal defense. We provided housing assistance to about 167 clients through the Housing First program. And we served about 525 survivors in about a little bit over 3,500 support group meetings. Kids Club, about 203 littles were served through about 1,200 sessions throughout the year, and we provided self-sufficiency services to almost 600 clients. Another part of the work, and this is the the area that I work in very closely with is the community engagement and policy work. So El Comité de Mujeres Fuertes, if you look at the picture here, there's a group of women holding this banner, and then Esther, our executive director, is on stage with a couple of the other women. And so these are women that are survivors that have gone through some of our services at Nextdoor and are now serve as our advisory committee. So there's two roles that they serve. They serve as an advisory committee to the agency on improvement, and the other part is that they're being trained to be promotoras of health. So they're going out to the community to educate the community on domestic violence issues, and most recently since April on the intersection between COVID and domestic violence. We also have a speakers bureau. So this is a group of folks that will attend meetings, we'll do tabling. Right now we're not doing, of course, a lot of tabling in the community, but I'm finding that a lot of folks are doing virtual fairs. So those are kind of a learning curve for our group, but we're doing those. A lot of outreach and presentations. Some new areas of work for us. One of them is coaching boys into men, where we, pre-COVID, of course, we were going into the high schools and working closely with the sports team, the boys sports team, to talk about, it's a 12-week program where we focus on consent, healthy relationships. Of course, COVID was like, it happened right in the middle of the school year. And so we're trying to find a way where we can do this virtually with our families. Peaceful Families is a program, a new program. It's a pilot program where we're hoping to have an intersection with the family that perhaps there's no physical violence right now, but there might be a threat of physical violence. There are some power and control issues going on. And this is a program that will work with the whole family. What we want to avoid in many of these families is when the criminal justice system gets involved, the police get involved, or other systems get involved, because we know that's going to be very difficult later on for folks to kind of navigate through that. And so Peaceful Families works with both the person that is harmed and then the person causing harm on finding ways to work together as a family. So they're counseled individually, and then they come together as a family. And then the health work we're doing with the Comité de Mujeres Fuertes is that we are working on a curriculum with Stanford on the impact of COVID on domestic violence survivors. And this is a curriculum that they will be able to bring into the community to teach others about the impact of that and how to mitigate that. So impact of some of the things that we've heard from our survivors and from other agencies about how COVID could impact intimate partner violence survivors. So abusive partners may withhold necessary items such as hand sanitizer or disinfectants. People that cause harm may also share misinformation about the pandemic to control or frighten survivors or to prevent them from seeking appropriate medical attention, even if they have symptoms. Or just taking away their insurance card, threatening to cancel their insurance or taking them off of their insurance. Preventing survivors from seeking medical attention if they need it. Programs that serve survivors have been impacted. You know, shelters may be full, or some may even stop intakes altogether. We have not stopped providing that service, but in other counties, I'm sure that's happened. Survivors may also fear entering shelter because of being in close quarters with groups of people. So there's that fear of, you know, I just rather stay here than go into a space that I'm not sure about. Some of our older survivors who are older, have chronic health or lung conditions may be at increased risk in public places. So coming to a shelter or counseling centers or courthouses may be a little bit more risky for them. So there's a lot more isolation. So people that are causing harm prior to COVID feel a little bit more justified right now and are escalating their isolation tactics. What we are seeing, and we all see this during times of crisis, such as natural disasters, research shows that violence increases in community, and of course, this is going to trickle down into the family and intimate partner violence. This includes child abuse, domestic violence, and other violent crimes in general. You know, the factors that underlie that are property and loss of livelihood, right? Increased mental health problems, scarcity of basic provisions. I know there was some money that came out like at the beginning of the pandemic, the $11 million that were being distributed, and those were gone within 2 or 3 days. So we had so many folks that are on that wait list, and then so many folks that are still scared, even though we have this moratorium, what's going to happen after that goes away, right? Social networks have been impacted. My dad is 80, he just turned 88 last week, and he used to go to a senior center every day, right? And it wasn't for the food necessarily, but it was like the interaction, being around folks, just kind of checking in with everybody. And for him, it's that social network, that isolation for somebody that's already experiencing violence, and then on top of that, that could be very, very, very painful. For individuals who already have a problem committing abuse and violence, the current conditions can escalate their violent and abusive behaviors. And then prolonged over time, you know, it can make things a lot worse. I'm going to skip that. These are some of our resources. So, of course, our hotline is here. These are the other 4 agencies in the community for domestic violence, so Asian Americans for Community Involvement, AKI. We have Community Solutions in South County, and then Maitri and the Y here in San Jose. And then also the National Domestic Violence Hotline is here. And people can call that number and get connected to any resources in any state. SafeChat is another resource that is an online chatting platform allowing folks that experience domestic violence to talk to an advocate live. So if you go to SafeChat, siliconvalley.org, there are hours on there, so not after hours, but I believe the hours are like 10 to 12:30 and then 1 to 4 or 1 to 5. And you click on there and you're able to chat with somebody on your computer or tablet. And this is for folks that may not be safe for them to use a telephone to talk to somebody or can't get out of the house, but they can chat. There's always on all of these websites an escape button. So if you press the escape button real fast, it'll take you to the Weather Channel or like Google. For 911, also for our folks or our community that may be hard of hearing or have they can't use call, or folks that maybe can are hiding and can text a message to 911. This is also now available in the county, so you can leave a short, the number you're calling is 911. It's a short message with your name, location, and situation. Currently, it's only available in English, so folks that do not speak English will still have to call 911. It's in all of the county except for Los Gatos and Campbell. And then some of our numbers here that we also provide when we do presentations is our behavioral health services, our mental health hotline, substance use services, and the suicide and crisis hotline. I can share this PowerPoint with Alexis and Kelsey if folks wanted to have that information. But I also emailed yesterday some flyers and info cards, which are these. So you will be getting copies of these. I'm not going to go over them. It just has the same info, but it's stuff that you can hand out. It's things that you can use. This one has a little tabs at the bottom, so you can post them and folks can just rip those out. Our promotoras are going out into the community and posting those in non-traditional places. Right now we can't get into the libraries or communities. A lot of places are closed. And so we really, our outreach plan for this COVID time has been targeting those places where folks are still going that could have access. So laundromats, corner stores, bus stops, on the buses when you can get on, right? And those sorts of things. So all those will be shared with you later. And I think my thing just beeped, so I'm good. Again, this is my name, this is my email if you have any questions or if you wanted to shoot me an email, and this is my phone number.
Awesome. Thank you, Laura, so much for presenting. And we're going to definitely share those resources in the SPIN email, either today or tomorrow. If anybody had any questions for Laura, you can put it in the chat now. If anybody has any questions. I'll give everyone a second. Okay. I don't think anyone has any questions right now. And then Laura, are you comfortable with people emailing you if they do have any questions later on?
Absolutely, yeah. Email's the best. You can call, you can leave me a message, but it takes me longer to get to it. But email is fine. Yeah, yeah. Any questions? If you needed to consult with an advocate and wanted to just connect through me, we can do that as well. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much. It was great.
You're welcome.
And then I think we're going to jump into the next presentation. Alexis and I are going to share a little bit about the organization we work for. So Alexis, do you mind sharing your screen?
Yes, give me 1 second. Let's start this. Hold on. I'm not sharing the right screen. One sec. Share screen. Just object. There we go. Cool. All right. So let me get this set up for 1 second and then we will begin. All right, so hello everyone. My name again is Alexis and I'm the case manager for Downtown Streets team in Palo Alto. And as Kelsey already said, we will be presenting on behalf of our organization in Santa Clara County. Hold on, it's not. There you go. Cool. All right, so Downtown Streets team is building teams that restore hope and purpose, which provide a path to recover from homelessness. And the DST model is unique in that we provide the opportunity for unhoused folks and people at risk of homelessness to volunteer their time to beautify their community. We call these folks our team members, and in return for their volunteerism in our program, they earn a non-cash basic needs stipend in the form of gift cards, and they have access to case management, employment services, and most of all, a supportive community. Each team has an employment specialist, case manager, and project manager. Employment specialists assist team members with employment-related services, from resume and cover letter building to job searching, interviewing, and so on. Case managers assist the team members with all of their other needs, from getting connected to many resources like food and shelter, public benefits, free legal resources, helping them apply for affordable housing, helping them to obtain free glasses, and so on. We don't offer many services in-house besides our beautification shifts that we'll talk about. And so it's mainly the case manager's job to act as a resource navigator for our team members to connect them with the appropriate resources to meet their needs. The most important part of our model is that our team members become part of an inclusive, welcoming, and safe community and support network. So offering a non-cash basic needs stipend helps our team members to transition from survival mode to goal-setting mode. Team members can meet their basic needs with their stipend, which can be used to obtain food, storage, transportation, housing, and even communication needs such as paying a cell phone bill. Once their basic needs are met, they're ready to start working with the employment specialists and case managers to set their personal goals. Our program acts as a stepping stone into employment by meeting the basic needs of clients while at the same time helping them to develop the necessary skills and habits to obtain steady employment and even affordable housing. And our ultimate goal is to transition team members into employment because having a job restores hope and opens the door to other opportunities. Our success team meetings have always been the heart and soul of our program, but unfortunately we haven't been able to hold these weekly meetings since COVID-19 hit. However, a few of our teams throughout the Bay Area have piloted their weekly team meetings outdoors, and the teams in Santa Clara County haven't yet, as far as I know, and we're hoping to implement this soon too, although of course there are a lot of details to figure out first before we can start doing that. So even though we aren't holding our team meetings at the moment, I want to share this quote that really exemplifies the atmosphere that our meetings create and the positive impact in the community. So Rachel Kippen, the executive director of Santa Cruz Centennial, says, "I left that first meeting thinking less about the elimination of litter and more about the elimination of judgment. What society would look like if everyone's contributions were acknowledged and valued regardless of status, and if all people had a community such as this looking after them. The Downtown Streets team weaves a loving web that with its members that address the crux of homelessness, having a support network for all that life throws at you. Its work is not just about making this town cleaner, it's about actively making our community kinder." So we have what we call a ladder of success. Our team members start out as yellow shirts in the team member role, and they have the opportunity to grow into leadership roles within our program. Team members can be promoted next to a green shirt, which is the team lead role, so they manage their own small team of yellow shirt volunteers. And after that, they can be promoted to the blue shirt role, which is the supervisor role, and then they manage the team leads, who then manage the yellow shirts. So Downtown Streets team uses a peer-to-peer model where team members drive the program, recruit others, hold each other accountable, and support each other as they recover from their trauma of homelessness. When staff conduct outreach, we always like to have a team member join us to provide peer-to-peer outreach, since that's such an important component of our program. So DST has spread rapidly into many cities around the Bay Area. We are now operating in 16 cities, but for the purposes of this presentation, we'll focus on the teams that operate here in Santa Clara County. So we have 3 teams in Santa Clara County, Palo Alto, Sunnyvale, and San Jose. The process to join each team looks different in each city right now due to COVID-19. To join the Palo Alto team, clients can stop by during what we call our payout, which is when clients receive their stipend each week, and that's every Thursday between 12 and 2 p.m. at the All Saints Episcopal Church in downtown Palo Alto, right next to the food closet at 425 Hamilton Avenue in Palo Alto. Kelsey, I will pass it to you.
Okay. Yeah. And as for San Jose, we do still meet for payout, but I would prefer if people contacted us beforehand, maybe from your organization. If not, we can always put in the meeting information if it's easier for your client to stop by our weekly meeting space. And then for Sunnyvale, they meet on Tuesdays between 11 and 1 at the Trinity Church off of Matilda. It's a little bit trickier to join the teams right now, but we're still actively trying to work with individuals experiencing homelessness to join the teams. Go to the next slide.
Oh, here, let me grab this one too. So in Palo Alto, our downtown food closet is run by our team members and serves the unhoused and low-income community in and around North County. We receive lots of local food donations, and we're looking to start doing food deliveries to Palo Alto residents who are in need of that service. And one of the flyers that we'll send out after the meeting will be this downtown food closet hours flyer, so that you can pass it out to your clients if they don't already know about that resource. And real quick, I forgot to mention on this slide that Palo Alto is going to start doing weekly office hours outside on Wednesdays from 1 to 3 at our office at 231 Grant Avenue in Palo Alto. That's beginning in a couple weeks. We're shooting for September 23rd. So that's also a way that clients could get involved with the Palo Alto team.
Awesome. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the impact of Downtown Streets team. So far throughout our program, we've gotten over 1,000 people successfully housed, and to get them housed, it took about 6.5 months. So that's amazing. We just connect them to housing resources around the Bay Area. So on average, we get about 7 people housed per month, 7 or 8. On the employment side, we've had over 1,000 individuals hold a job for over 90 days. We know how hard it is for individuals that are going back into employment to hold jobs. So that's a huge success for us. And definitely shout out to our employment specialists for coaching them through that and supporting them. And on average, we've had individuals wait around 6 months until they're employed through our program. And as for the environment, we've removed over 10 million gallons of debris removed. So I think it's really cool that our program not only helps individuals experiencing homelessness, but also cleans up the environment as well. We've removed over 98,000 needles from the streets, and the average hourly wage that individuals have had entering their employment is $14.26. After surveying team members that have gone through the year-long program, 55% have decreased encounters with police because of DST. 96% of team members stated an overall increase in self-worth. 99% of individuals are proud to be a team member and to give back to their community. 84% of team members.
Entonces nosotros vimos planes y luego tú no pudiste, estoy entiendo que tendrás que trabajar en la chamba, trabajo, trabajo siempre es, ¿verdad? Pero tú nunca me lo...
Why don't you just mute everyone,
Ahora que
Kelsey?
me ocupas,
Sorry.
ahora que me estás...
Whoever's talking, can you mute yourself? Okay, that's fine. Sorry about that. 84% of team members now have health insurance. So that's another thing that we do. We connect them to Medicaid or Medi-Cal. 67% are now engaged with mental health treatment. Another thing we do, try to get people the resources they need to get to, especially referring them to Momentum and other county service providers. 73% are using less alcohol or drugs than they used to. I think this has a lot to do with our peer model, and definitely watching people lead by example. That's like the great thing about getting to see people in a green shirt or a blue shirt coming in as a yellow shirt. Seeing that upward mobility within the program gives people a lot to look forward to. And 96% report positive health outcomes due to their involvement with DST. While you're volunteering, you're walking around, you're sweating a bit, and it definitely helps with individuals that might need to, you know, help their cardiovascular health. Next slide. So the community benefits of DST, again, are very broad and not only helps individuals, but it creates clean and safer streets. By removing those needles and debris off of the streets, we're cleaning up the streets and also making it safer for everyone else to be around. The cost-effective solution is another community benefit. We also have immediate results for our program, as well as addressing behavioral issues. Because this kind of models an employment program as volunteers, people won't necessarily be fired or like taken off the team. We definitely work with individuals and their needs. And it also changes their perception of themselves and kind of helps their self-confidence throughout the year-long program.
Real quick, I just wanted to add that one of the most important things is that we change the perception and the community conversation around homelessness. And that's, you know, you can't eradicate homelessness until the perception and the stigma around homelessness is addressed. Next slide.
Awesome. So to get involved, to join a team, hire team members, or volunteer and donate, or just volunteer in this instance, contact either Alexis, myself, or Rob in Sunnyvale. And then we're also going to send out our contact information over email after this presentation.
Yeah,
I think that's it. If anybody has any questions about the program, feel free to put it in the chat right now. It's a little bit of an interesting program, but we definitely want to answer any questions that you guys have. It's a little bit complicated to explain. Anyone?
We'll monitor the chat box too if there are any questions that pop up. If not, the next and last segment we'll transition into is our open communication segment. And this is the time for resource sharing and for any updates. Just like just like an open forum if you want to use this as like networking or problem solving or just sharing, you know, a really brief version of what resources your organization has or what you do. So feel free to do that. I'm not sure virtually how we want to do that. Maybe if you want to either put in the chat box or raise your hand or just blurt out if no one else is talking. We'll figure out for the future the best way to kind of to navigate through this section, but the floor is for anyone who wants to share updates or resources or anything else.
Should I ask?
Hi, this is James from City Team. Can you hear me?
We can hear you, James.
All right, great. So I just like to share with the group a little bit about our Turning Point program. It's a working man's program operating out of our shelter. And so we just like to let individuals know that who are working with men that we have a place for them to be able to come, and they can call in for a phone screening and we can start the process from there. The phone number to call is 408-288-2153, and they would speak with Daniel. And then from that screening process, they can also inquire about some of our other services that we have, as well as our residential recovery program. And then we also have a program for women still. That's it.
Thank you. I had a quick question. Do individuals have to be sober to participate in that program?
That's one of the things that we're working on. So yes, we do require clients being sober. If they choose to drink, say like on the weekend over their own time, we kind of are looking more at a harm reduction model as opposed to a clear straight line. So our whole focus is to be able to help them be able to transition into the next phase, you know, of either independent living or whatever it takes getting a job. So we want to look at ways to being able to help them and not stay in the same situation of homelessness of where they're at. We're wanting to end that homeless cycle for them.
Okay, thank you.
But there's absolutely no using or drinking on the property at all.
Okay, thank you. If anybody has like any announcements with their program, any changes in what's going on during COVID. I know our last spin meeting was way before, but if anyone wants to shout out what's changed about the program. Christina?
Yes, I just wanted to share that Goodwill has started, not my specific program, but Goodwill has started a new program for those who have lost their jobs during COVID. It's called the Bridge to Recovery. So they'll do some training and they'll give you paid training. So I'll attach the website in there. I don't know a lot about it, but I just know if they've lost their job during COVID that they can help them find it. And then I'll list on the website kind of what trainings they're offering, and then you'll probably get more information from there, and then I'll try to gather more as well because this just came up. Thank you.
Awesome, that's a great resource. Oh, thank you, Christina. I think we're all set. We'll have to send that out in the email. Anyone else want to share about anything going on? Any questions if you guys do need resources?
And if you have any flyers or outreach materials you would like to share with everyone, just go ahead and email those to us, and we will disseminate that with the rest of the stuff we're going to be sending out, you know, after this meeting. Or I mean, you could just send it out to the spin list yourself if you're a part of that list.
Oh, looks like we have a question from Eileen. Eileen is asking if there's still a program for people who have not lost a job due to COVID but are homeless through Goodwill. Christina, do you know that?
I forgot to unmute myself, sorry. There is some programs that we have. We have the reentry program, which is the one that I work through. So they would go through the reentry center to go through us, and we offer 90-day paid training. So they would work with us, sit down in classrooms, and then we can kind of train them on interview skills and all that, and they get paid for that. Also, the veterans team, there's a veterans team as well. They help with that too. You do have to have at least 181 days active duty. So you can sort that with them. All they need is if they don't have a DD-214, that's fine as well. They'll help with that assistance. We also have a neurodiversity program, which helps with those who have barriers like autism or Down syndrome and stuff like that. They help with them finding jobs for them as well. And I know like a lot of them went into like IT, some went into truck driving. So there's a wide variety of things that they place them at as well. But for right now, that's about it. Right before COVID happened, they pretty much shut down everything. So we're barely starting to bring everything back to normal. So the newest one was that Bridge the Gap or something like that.
Awesome, thank you. And then just to clarify, everybody knows the shelter hotline number through the county. If you guys don't, we'll also email that out in the email following this, just to share extra resources right now. If anyone else wants to share anything. Okay. Alexis, I think I'll throw it to Alexis to wrap up the meeting.
Yeah, sure. Sorry, I was just reading the chat box. But all right, so yeah, if no one has anything else to share, we're gonna conclude this month's meeting. Let me see if I had anything else to add. I don't think so. Just keep your eyes open. Oh, actually I do. So if you aren't on the SPIN email list, you need to, let me give you the email to send an email to be added to that list, because we actually don't have access to that. It's just you email this email and then you get added. So give me 1 sec to get that email up. Okay. So the email is, hold on. It's info@santaclaracountycoc.org. So if you email that email and say, hey, I want to be added to the SPIN email list, they should be able to add you to that. If not, you can always reach out to us and we can reach out to someone else to figure out how to get you on. Yes, Magdalena, we will be doing a poll to change the date of the November meeting, since it's on Veterans Day right now. So in the survey that we send out after this meeting, in addition to sharing your feedback on how this meeting went and what you think we could do in the future to improve it, one of the questions will be when you would like to have the November meeting rescheduled for. So please make sure to keep a lookout for that email, and then you can answer that survey, and then we'll have an idea of when everyone will be able to attend that meeting. And again, the meetings will be recorded, so if you aren't able to make it, it'll be sent out after the meeting. So I think just to conclude this meeting, just want to let everyone know to keep their eyes out for all the things that are going to come after this meeting. So it's going to be the recording of this meeting, any outreach materials and handouts and flyers from us and from Nextdoor Solutions, and any slides if Nextdoor Solutions wanted to provide them, and the survey link for you to give us your feedback. So I think that's it. We have really enjoyed, trying to get Spin restarted virtually, and we had a great turnout. When I looked at the highest count I had was like 48 participants, I want to say, and that's more than a lot of like in-person Spin meetings were. So we really thank you all for your participation and for your willingness to help support us in this. We've really been missing Spin meetings, and we are so excited to be able to have them ongoing now virtually. So thank you all. Please give us your feedback so that we can continue to make these meetings better. And we look forward to seeing you all in the months to come. If you have any questions or concerns or anything, feel free to reach out to us individually or the Spin email list. And I hope you all have a fabulous Wednesday, and we will see you next time.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Bye.